box module. With this module you'll be able to add boxes to your site. Boxes are basically images with links. These can appear very pretty like on the front page here. You can make individual boxes like they appear here, with large boxes that go the entire width, medium boxes that only take up half the width, smaller boxes where you stack 3 next to each other, whereas the top one here is a single box that takes up the entire width. Boxes can be placed multiple places on the site: front page, articles, products, product groups, even checkout can have their own boxes. Under boxes you have listing, which shows you the list of boxes you have, and create box. Under listings they show your boxes that are already made and their placement. If we take the big front page box, it would be this one, front page box DK. We click edit, and here you can see there's a grouping. It does not have any effect on where the box can be placed on the site, not unless of course you have multiple language sites. If you have multiple language sites, you have to choose which language sites they can appear on. Placement is an important one. There's also a lot of choices. It determines where the box can be. Always try and go from the name. It's the most descriptive one. Desktop center, meaning you have it on the desktop and it's centered. Desktop center bottom, this only applies to the front page. This means that the box will always appear in the bottom of the front page. Desktop right, desktop left, and so forth. Also notice some of them has checkout in them. If they're called desktop checkout, then these can only appear in checkout. Also why the placement is so important. Mainly because if you take a desktop checkout right and try and place it on an article, it will not show up. Same as if you take a desktop right and place it in checkout, it won't show. But the box on the front page here has desktop center as a placement. After that we have to choose a template. There are multiple templates. A fair amount to choose between. A good hint would always be to go for the icon in the center. If there are completely colored path, that means this is an image. The first 3 are used if you want 3 boxes next to each other. Boxes normally don't have spacing between them, so if you place 3 boxes next to each other normally, they will line up completely next to each other. So unless you have an artificial spacing like this image has here, they will be clammed up next to each other. But these 3 will allow for spacing in between them. This icon means that the box is a complete image. There are no frames, there are no text, it's just an image with a link. Some others have text in them, where you have the option of putting text up top, adding an image below, and other variants of them, where you have image above, text below, and text on the side and the image on the side. There's also an HTML box. If you want to use some HTML code, you can use this box. Do note, this is an advanced option. You have to know your HTML codes to use this properly. Also, on some of the templates there are extra text. This one has uden begrænsning or without limits. This basically means normally a box will scale your image to fit the layout. If it has without limitations, that means the box will change the scale to fit the image you have added to it, so it have the same size as the image. Others that are important to note: external window. If you see this text, it means that whenever the customer clicks the box, then the link they are going to will be opened up in a new tab. Those were the most important ones to note. After you've chosen your template, you need to remember to click Choose Template. After that, you give the box a name. This is only for your eyes, the customers will not see this. Always remember to give the box a very precise name, so you always know where it belongs. If you have 20 to 30 boxes, it can be a bit confusing to find the right box if the name doesn't make sense. There's a link name, in case the link you have added in the field below doesn't really make sense. Many links can have a lot of signs, numbers, and random letters in them. If this is the case, you can always add a link name to make it easier for yourself to know where it points to. And of course, address the link should point to. In here you add the link. If it's on your own site, you add the logic name. If it links to a site outside your own shop, you have to add the entire address. After this is done, you add an image, like you normally would. When the image is uploaded, it looks like this. Here you can also see that all the boxes are one complete image. Click End to get out to the boxes again. In this case, the use of image mapping would be preferable, meaning that whenever the customer clicks newest products, we add this field and add a link that takes them to the product group with the newest products. And the second one, customer club, we add a field to that one, and up here we add a link that takes the customer to the customer club where they can sign up. A third one would be our top 10, where we mark the field and add a link that leads the customer over to your top 10 products, and so on and so forth with the rest of the fields. Mark all of them, give them link, and click Save. Lastly, relations. You cannot enter a box. Boxes has to be related to other places like front page, other products, product groups, checkout. To do this, select Choose. In here we can see it's already related to the front page. That's why we can see it out here. And the arrow is marked. It can be a good idea to give the name of your standard front page a name, so you know it's the standard front page. Otherwise you have to identify the standard front page from its ID, and it can be a bit tricky. Once you're done, click End. Go all the way to the bottom and save. Now the box is shown on your front page.